Hey guys, this is episode 3 of Cheap Date, Philadelphia's #1 podcast, the world's #3 podcast. I'm Mark.
And I'm Mike.
What are your thoughts on bridges? How do you feel about them? Have you actually been to a bridge? I mean, like really been to a bridge? Well, today, you know what? We decided we actually wanted to go to a bridge. Episode 3, we went for a walk.
You're a cheap date!
Hey guys, welcome to Cheap Date. This episode is sponsored by Dave Yamaha's Wild Women. Mike, you want to give us a little bit of information on Dave Yamaha's Wild Women?
Sure. So Dave Yamaha's Wild Women is a movie that's coming out on Paramount, I believe. It's slated for a January release, and Dave Yamaha is obviously the leading character. The Wild Women are I guess they're the antagonists. So, the whole movie, Dave Yamaha is just trying to fight for his family, and these wild women are trying to tear him apart. It looks like it's going to be a pretty thrilling ride. So I'm pretty excited for that film. What do you think?
Is that going right to DVD, or is that going to be in the theaters?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be in theaters for like 3 or 4 years, and then eventually come out on DVD. Maybe in like 2025 or something like that.
3 or 4 years in theaters?
Yeah,
man, that's a good run.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. So should we just jump into it? Today's
absolutely.
Cheap Date.
Yes.
Yeah. So since it's getting a little chilly in the air, we figured we'd take some apple cider with us and walk the Ben Franklin Bridge in Philly.
Yeah. I've never actually been to the Ben Franklin Bridge.
I had been there once before.
Oh yeah, you have told me when we were going across it.
Oh yeah.
So, I don't have a fear of heights per se. I'm not super scared of heights.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the idea of always going across something that's very big that could collapse at some point terrifies me beyond belief.
I do find that a lot of people are not necessarily afraid of heights, but afraid of like bridges and tunnels and things like that, like these structural collapse kind of things. But you hear about that kind of stuff so rarely that I think it doesn't even register on my brain.
No,
it doesn't register on my brain.
So I only start realizing this fear of heights that I have is when you and I, so there's a place in Philadelphia called the Divine Lorraine. It was a hotel. It is now becoming a hotel again, I guess, or it's an apartment complex.
I think it's going to be an apartment complex, yeah. But it's like, what, 13 or 14 stories, I think, something like that?
Yes. It is quite enormous. And at one point in Philadelphia, you had the ability to get into it legally or illegally.
Usually illegal.
There's a gray line, gray space when it comes to that. But I'm not going to say who was there. I might not have been there. I just want to say that I was on top of it at one point, and I didn't know I was deathly afraid of anything until I got up there, and my knees were quivering. I mean, I couldn't move. I was like so scared.
We went with my coworker, right? If we had gone,
we would have gone.
We would have gone with
your coworker. Yeah, at that point, I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm this terrified." I used to thought I was like such a fearless man that I could do anything. But after going to that, I was so scared. So now when I go to like tall buildings, I've been to numerous tall buildings. I actually get scared being on top of stuff. I don't know. It's something that just terrifies me. So
in terms of just fear of heights, I don't really have a fear of heights either. If you had to guess, I just looked it up because I'm a cheater. But like, how high do you think How high do you think we were on the Ben Franklin Bridge today?
I base everything off of stories. So I think everything in relation to that. And I would say that thing would probably be at least 20 stories high. I just had a weird accent there in my voice.
So I don't know the conversion on stories to feet. I would assume, is it 10 feet?
Oh, I think it's 12 feet. For every 12
feet
feet's a story.
All right, well, this is 380 feet, so that would be...
Oh, my God. Starting in this podcast
31,
this episode off strong.
31 to 32 stories.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So that's pretty big. I don't know. Why did we choose the Ben Franklin Bridge today? Well, I guess it's free.
Again, yeah, it's free. It's definitely a cheap date. I think just like it's kind of a nice thing for the weather. It was today's November 1st. It was just like a nice way to get out there in the brisk brisk November to October air.
Yeah, kind of.
Drink some apple cider, which was cold, by the way. We should have made it warm before we took it.
We don't have a thermos.
We don't have a thermos.
All right, so we're kind of going away from the course of this podcast, this episode. So we decided to go to the Ben Franklin Bridge and bring some hot apple cider. It's a little chilly outside, which is quite nice. All of this is relatively, inexpensive to do this. It's pretty romantic, the idea of Mike and I going. Not so romantic. We're just having a good bro time hanging out. All very free. To get there, so it's located. The entrance is located in
Somewhere we've been before. Old City, Philadelphia.
Old City. Stomping grounds right now is Old City, Philadelphia. It is very hard to find parking there. We got there at noon today, and I was so just blown away by there being no parking over there.
We actually found some free parking, which was nice.
I was really thinking you were going to get a ticket. I absolutely thought you were going to get a ticket. I looked for a sign.
There were no signs.
There were no signs.
Yeah, I think we were good.
But we were pretty good on that one.
Yeah.
You put on... Michael put on an album for me. Hot Skin is the name of is the artist?
That's correct. It's Hot Skin. The dude from Hour of the Wolf had a little side project, maybe even a solo project, called Hot Skin, where it's just kind of like driving, a little surfy, a little like highway desert rock kind of thing.
It was absolutely rock and roll.
Yeah, you had mentioned that it was your idea of what would be playing in a bar in like a motorcycle movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah.
Do you know the name of that album?
It's just a demo. It's like a 7-song demo. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all they've ever put out, and I love that album. It's really good.
For us to get to the bridge, isn't that far away? It only took us like 15, 20 minutes to get there, but to find parking took another 15, 20 minutes in Philadelphia. It doesn't have enough parking. I just don't understand. So we go to the bridge, and on the way there, Mike's playing this ripping record. You know, it actually felt like it would be a part of the movie Roadhouse. You know that blind guy that's behind that, like that, whatever that thing is. I can't think. Protective barrier. It's like a chain link fence.
Okay.
And they're throwing beer bottles at him. It's like smashing him when he's playing rock and roll. That's what I thought would be that band would fit well.
That's kind of cool. I didn't think about it that way, but yeah, I guess it would kind of fit.
You've never thought about that?
I had never thought about that. We did a little bit of live audio from the field today, so let's. You want to cut to a clip of us?
Oh, please. Yeah, this is. So if I remember correctly, this clip should be when we arrive at the bridge.
This is right before we're stepping onto the bridge. This is a segment that we call Bridge Talk. All right, Mark, so we're on our way to, I believe, the largest bridge in the world. How do you feel about that? Do you have any thoughts on bridges in general?
I hope it doesn't collapse. That's my biggest fear in life, is that the bridge is going to collapse.
So Philadelphia, again, that is known as Land of the Bridges. Mark, can you name the 3 major bridges that will take you from Philadelphia, which is in Pennsylvania, over the bridge into New Jersey?
Walt Whitman, Ben Franklin, and the Cecil B. Moore.
Close. You want to try that last one again?
The Thomas Jefferson.
Further away.
Marie Antoinette. I don't know.
Betsy Ross.
Oh, yeah. I knew it was a woman.
Famous flag maker. In 1999, a bridge was moved from Philadelphia to San Francisco. Do you know the name of that bridge?
Golden Gate Bridge.
Correct. In 1998, the Brooklyn Bridge was moved from Philadelphia to where?
Brooklyn.
Yeah, correct. And that's about all the bridge knowledge that I've got. Do you have anything else you want to share with the listeners?
Where was the first ever bridge to fall down at?
Paris Bridge is falling down.
You're right. Absolutely right.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes our favorite segment called Leon Bridges. Thank you for listening.
Leon Bridges is actually pretty good.
You should call it Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Wow, that was hard-hitting stuff.
So you could see how I don't know that much about bridges, unfortunately.
But I clearly do. The Walt Whitman is 378 feet tall, and the Betsy Ross is 215 feet tall.
Were you Googling the entire time?
No, I'm Googling right now.
Oh, but you knew all this about bridges beforehand?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I'm very proud of you. I absolutely knew nothing.
Yeah.
I went to Tacoma, Washington once. And there was a bridge that's there. I don't know what it's called. That there's like a film of it, like making these movements I'm making right now, waves. Like it collapsed eventually.
Oh, Jesus.
And I don't know why I'm talking about that right now, but it's important to this podcast.
Well, you were there once. That's cool.
I was there once.
One thing that I think about this every time. I think about this almost daily, actually. I think about Cloverfield happening in real life, and I think about when the tentacle smashes through the bridge. I don't really like the way I say bridge, but I'm going to keep saying it because I'm going to have to say it. But I think about that scene. I think about the scene of it just like tearing down cityscapes. And I kind of like, I think I secretly want that to happen a little bit in real life just to shake things up.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want giant creatures to roam the earth?
Yeah.
But I don't want them to occur when I'm walking across a bridge. Remember the movie The Mothman Prophecies?
Yeah.
And how all the cars went off the bridge?
Yeah.
That also scares me a lot. Because I think something's going to happen while I'm on a bridge and it's going to knock the bridge down.
Yeah.
I don't think so much about it when I'm driving very fast across a bridge. It doesn't bother me. But when I'm walking across a bridge, absolutely, I think about these things. Wow. Cloverfield for sure. Godzilla for sure. Sometimes you just want to know that something's out there, you know?
Yeah. You just secretly hope that there's some freaky thing lurking beneath the ocean.
I guess because the world is so screwed up, you
So screwed
you
up.
hope there's like a third party out there that has no allegiances to anything, that's just kind of just chaotic, and you're like, that's evil.
Like
I
the
understand.
Green Party.
Like the Green, absolutely, the Green Party. You're right.
So on our walk across the bridge, we saw some different stuff. We saw an apartment complex, and we were talking about how it would be such a bummer because it's right up against this major highway. It would be kind of a bummer to live there. You just have like, it might become white noise at a certain point, but you just have traffic sounds all times of the day, all times of the night, honking, beeping. Those are the same thing.
I mean, where we live right now, we're relatively close to the L, and I could hear it at night sometimes when we're sleeping.
But imagine this thing is 5 feet away from the
That's
highway.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, you being so close to it, it has to shake your house, like, your room or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But you probably you mentally block that out after a while.
For sure.
I couldn't, and it's probably not super romantic to like have someone come over and hearing traffic and like horns honking all day long.
You're always thinking about romance. It's very nice of you.
You know what? I'm just a romantic guy.
Yeah.
Hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
Fantastic album by the Melting Souls. But I don't know, man. I'm just thinking. I just like to think.
Trying to think of what else we saw. We saw there were people jogging and running and stuff like that, but there was also a lot of construction going on in that area.
Yeah,
there were like construction dudes
staring at us. Absolutely. Yeah. And if you're out there walking with your date, whoever that may be, you're gonna get stared at.
People are gonna stop and stare.
I don't know why. I don't like it. It really bothers me how much people stare. I just don't. Anywhere I've been in this world, everyone just stares right at you at all times.
I think we're jumping back to episode 2. This is a recurring theme of you, where we walked into the coffee shop. You thought everyone was staring at you. I don't think anyone's staring at you.
I just hate it. I don't know what it is, but people just like to look at you and pierce through your soul.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was a lot of construction happening in Olde City. Philadelphia's changing, man. All day long, and it's crazy to see what's occurring in this city for sure. But we got a good glimpse of the construction workers hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah, some of them were sitting on. I think they had like put a sofa on. It was like they were maybe 4 or 5 stories up on the roof or something like that. But I think they had lugged a sofa up there so they could sit and take their breaks and stuff. I respect that.
Interesting.
Loyalty.
Respect loyalty, baby. When I was in Europe, I was in Bosnia. It is a common thing. If you see someone on a roof, working on a roof, you make a wish because it's good luck. I don't know why that occurs, but we would see like people on roofs like cleaning the chimneys or whatever, or like doing some sort of construction, and they would stop and look up and they would like make a wish. So almost like it's 11:11, but it's when you see someone working on a roof.
Is it super uncommon or something like that?
No, it's super common.
So you're just making wishes all the time.
I'm telling you, dude, it's so weird. They're just making wishes.
I hope those wishes all come true.
I highly doubt their wishes are coming true, but
jeez,
I made a lot of wishes on 11/11, and none of them have come true.
Have you wished upon a star? Do you wish on a 4-leaf clover?
No, that just brings you good luck.
I see.
Back to the bridge.
Oh yeah, back to the bridge. I've never wished on a bridge either.
Interesting. Are you supposed to?
I can't imagine you are.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, whatever.
Well, back to the
bridge. Found parking after 20 minutes. Listened to a pretty ripping album on the way over. Get off the bridge, go over there. It's located in a terrible location to park and to try to walk to. I mean, apparently you have to walk towards it, and if you're on the wrong side, you have to go through a tunnel to come to the other side. Get up there, start walking across it, and then it is very loud. I had an impossible, hard time talking to you at some points because it was just so loud with traffic. If you're not familiar with the Ben Franklin Bridge, too, by the way, it goes to the greatest place on earth, Camden, New Jersey.
Let me jump back. I'm going to disagree with you. It wasn't terribly loud.
I thought it was so loud.
We were speaking at normal volume.
I felt like I was yelling the entire time.
All right, maybe we were.
Maybe you just have a very loud voice or you're hard of hearing. So
as you can tell, I'm very, very aggressive. I have a very loud voice.
What do you think of Camden, New Jersey?
I hate Camden, New Jersey.
You would think that they would try to improve it drastically since it's like right across from Philadelphia.
Maybe it'd become like the Oakland to San Francisco, the Philadelphia to Camden kind of thing, but I can't imagine it'd be anytime soon.
They would have to remove the prison probably or keep it there. I don't know. I mean, it's not dangerous.
Those are two pretty good options.
Huh?
Those are two pretty solid options for keep it there.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's not like prisoners are escaping and just like mauling people that are there. But there's like a high level of drug abuse, from my understanding. I haven't been here in 2 years, so maybe it's not. Maybe it's totally clean.
I used to work at a company, and we had to we would deliver all around the city into Camden, into places just in the suburbs and things like that. But we were delivering to Camden one time at like 6 a.m, and they were just telling this awful, awful, awful story about this couple that was like brutalized by a gang.
What?
And left in the snow and weren't found until like months later. I was like, why are you guys telling me this in the pitch black in this like shady truck as we're going to drive into center city? It bummed me out.
Yeah.
Obviously it stuck with me like 7 years later.
You're still thinking about it. I used to work in Camden, so I used to work for the company was called IDGAF, which stood for what it stands for. I don't give a fuck. And sorry for the cursing, but
please don't curse my podcast.
I'm sorry. I would do security for the Theater of Living Arts down on South Street, Festival Pier, and then I would go to Camden and work over. It was called the Tweeter Center, I think, at the time, and then it became the Susquehanna Center, or whatever it is now. Anyway,
basically every time a bank buys out another bank, this place changes its name.
Yeah. So I would have to take the train into Camden, and it drops you basically right off at the prison, and then you'd walk from the prison to the Tweeter Center. And everyone always said, yo, it's so safe, don't worry about it. It's terrifying. And especially when you work until 2 a.m. and then have to walk back to the train and then take the train back to Philly, man, it was scary.
It is kind of funny to think like when you're around a prison, you probably, I haven't been around many prisons to say, but I bet you get a little like shaky, but it's probably one of the safer places around just because there's so much security.
Yeah.
And really,
You see a lot of families, talk about true love. You see a lot of family members standing outside the prison. It's a men's prison from my understanding. And they are like looking in the windows, and they're like they learn some sort of sign language that they can like communicate through the the distance because they can't hear each other.
That's true love.
And they like have signs. They hold signs up, and they they say something like "miss you."
So something like "I'm with stupid."
I'm with stupid.
Yeah, that's like a good joke.
Just classic jokes.
Yeah.
You gotta have humor when you're in prison. It's really just depressing.
Well, you guys are in luck. We've got another little segment for you today. We got our apple cider in a little, I guess it was in like a water bottle, and we took some plastic cups, and about halfway on our trek, we started to pour some apple cider, not apple juice.
No, totally different.
Totally different. So we poured it out and gave ourselves a little treat for the walk back. So
you're right. Once we got halfway there.
Yeah. Let's just cut to a little segment we like to call Apple Talk.
Please.
All right, so we're at the halfway point of our trek, so we're going to pour out some apple cider that Mark brought along.
The brand is Warm Dickens Cider.
That's a very funny joke.
I love that joke every time.
But it's also cold, so...
I know, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
I actually don't know the brand, but there's... Let me get your cup out there.
All right.
There's some strangers coming on the bridge to watch us.
Might have to interview them and see what they think about apple cider.
Hey, what do you think about apple cider?
Mark, do you know the origins of apple cider?
The Pilgrims actually made it, and they would poison the Native Americans.
Is that true?
I actually have no idea. Do you know the origin? How is it?
I don't. It's good. It's cold. It's not bad, though.
That's nice, actually. That's actually really nice.
Yeah, I like it. It's got a little spice to it. Got a little cinnamon spice.
A little kick. A little kicky poo.
It'd be much better. I don't have my chapstick. If anybody knows me, I always have chapstick on me. I don't have chapstick, so... my mouth I just feel a little off,
Well, I brought some, but you don't want mine.
I don't want Mark's. All right. Well, that ends that segment about apple cider, I suppose. Wow. Again, all I can say is wow. Some really gripping stuff.
Riveting.
There. Again, totally factually accurate.
I didn't know that you were so bent out of shape over that lip chap or chapstick.
Oh my god. Yeah, I just usually have a little chapstick in my pocket. I go with the vanilla moisturizing chapstick. Mm-hmm. It's saved me on many occasions, but just not having it, I don't know. It made the apple cider somehow taste worse,
I really wish it was warm apple cider, by the way, and I really got to stop using that Warm Dickens Cider joke because it is pretty lame.
It's not the best.
No,
you're better than that.
You caught me on the fly. I had to think of something. I just went with that. I went with what I know. I just can't help it.
Have you since figured out the brand, or we still don't know?
No, I didn't look. It's upstairs in the refrigerator.
Right. Well,
we should have kept it out so it was at least room temperature before we took it with us.
That's true. Whoever the brand is, shout out. Thank you for the milk. Milk? Thank you for the...
What is on your...
I don't know.
Milk is on your mind.
Shout out apple cider.
Have you had any breakfast yet today?
I have not eaten today.
I thought I saw you eat some candy this morning.
No, I had a friend of ours brought... I don't even know what they were. They were like some sort of s'mores treat. They were almost like almost like a Rice Krispie treat kind of thing, but with like... This is
Cocoa
again.
Puffs. It had the whole
Please
thing,
save me.
baby. I'm proud of you right now. You're doing a really good job.
Very hungry.
Well, I mean, we probably should have got food on this little date of ours.
Yeah.
We've been getting food a lot together.
We've been doing a whole lot of things. I feel like we kind of need to start. We're running out of options already after day 3, so we gotta.
I mean, there's a lot out there. We just gotta, we gotta be strong.
Gotta be creative.
Gotta be creative. That's the whole idea of going on cheap dates.
Yeah,
absolutely, is being creative.
So the walk back was like downhill almost because on the way up you're going uphill. So I feel like we got back in half the time. So the walk back.
You were running.
I was. That's right. I went for a quick jog.
You were in a full sprint.
Yeah, I did. That's right. So we got back to the car. There was no ticket, thank God.
No ticket.
Thank whatever God you believe in.
We stared at the same construction workers on the way back. Discuss life. It was a simple walk back. You can walk. We forgot to mention this. You can walk to Camden from there. You could walk to Trenton too if you wanted to, but right across the other side of the bridge is Camden. We did not go all the way there. We stopped out halfway there.
I didn't really want to go to Camden.
When you drive into Camden, you don't have to pay anything. But when you come back to Philadelphia, they make you pay $5 to leave the state.
That's how much Jersey sucks. To get into Jersey is free, but to get out, they're like, no, please.
Philadelphia should just buy out Camden and turn it into second Camden or second Philadelphia. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Camden, you're not second Camden.
You're Camden. You're Camden too. I think we just made a good choice not going all the way across there.
Yeah, I don't think we would have really gained anything. Maybe a little. We would have gotten our steps in.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is something I'm very concerned about.
We got back to the car. We went back to the old whip. No ticket. That would really ruin a date, especially if you're trying to keep it cheap. Mm-hmm. And then we made a quick drive to a local coffee shop. So I was feeling a little tired, Yeah. Been applying to a lot of jobs lately, and I need some caffeine. So we stopped at a local coffee shop. But on the way back, we listened to another Rippin' album. Mike's been killing it today on these albums. What was the name of this album or person, people?
So I kept with the surf rock theme. I went with
you did.
Swami John Rice and the Blind Shakes. I think it's called like Modern Surf Classics or something like that.
It is insane.
It's pretty good. So it's Swami, who is John Rice from Swami Records, Hot Snakes, Rocket from the Crypt, everything.
Dolls.
Also from the Goo Goo Dolls. Yeah, I think his nickname is also Speedo.
Is it really?
I think so. Yeah,
that's a sick name.
He's a cool guy. Mad respect, loyalty.
I've always wanted a nickname.
I'll get you one someday.
Pigeon is what I want to go by. Pidge. Yo, Pidge. No,
I don't know. Giving yourself a nickname's.
I'm sorry.
We'll get you one. Anyways, we listened to this modern surf classic record, Surf Classics. I need some food. we got to the coffee shop. Mark, since you got some coffee, why don't you tell the listeners
first
about
off,
it?
I want to give my opinion on something real quick.
Please.
You never let me give my opinion on anything anymore.
You're right. I never do.
I think that this album ruled. I don't listen to surf rock. Like, I don't even know how you would find the music other than going to Spotify and like search similar artists, related artists.
I got you.
But it's so cool that like all about all these surf rock albums other than the Beach Boys. This stuff was cool, and there was no lyrics. It was just pure rock and roll driving around, and it was much easier to get back than it was to get to the bridge, by the way.
Keep talking. I'm going to light up. I have a Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys candle here. It's like a prayer candle that I made for when I record my own surf rock music. I'm just going to light this up for the podcast.
And I absolutely thought it was a fantastic album, and it was very good.
Thanks, man.
And that was all my input. I wish I could play that way. I really wish I could play like as good as those guys played. But yeah, so the local coffee shop that we always go to, that's pretty much down the street from us, is called Milkcrate. They sell both coffee, and then in the basement is records.
They got some records.
And you picked up a record today. Do you want to talk about it?
I did. So there's a band from the 70s called The Nerves, and they have a song that you probably know called Hanging on the Telephone, which was, again, recorded by like Blondie in the 80s on Parallel Lines.
Mm-hmm. And covered by who else? By you covered it.
So when we lived at our old house, I had a phase where I was obsessed with The Nerves, and I would listen to them all the time. So I recorded the drums, just listen to the song and play the drums along with it, and then recorded the guitar, recorded the vocals with me and my friend Jordan, who's also our roommate now. So they just had their kind of like compilation of their first 4-song EP and some of their other demos and things like that. So it's like a 17-song. It's like hit filled. It's all sorts of stuff from the Nerves and some of the other bands. They went on to become like the Plimsolls and things like that. So it's called One Way Ticket, and it's got a lot of their hit songs. And I'd never seen it actually in a record shop, so I was pretty stoked to pick that up. Dude behind the counter said that a lot of people had been kind of picking it up and looking at it, so I was pretty excited pretty excited to be the one to actually get it.
So I just want to say what just happened now. Mike just lit some piece of paper on fire and used it to light this candle. And I swear to God, I thought that was just going to continue burning and not like actually go out and burn this whole place down. I was really expecting you to burn this place down just now.
That's how long it took me to light this candle. It was pretty rough.
Yeah, I think that album is fantastic. I love the Nerves. You actually got me into the Nerves. I didn't know they existed until you played that song "Hang on the Telephone" for me.
There's a really cool cover of another Nerve song called Paper Dolls that is a B-side on a Real Estate record. They did a single for Had to Hear from Atlas.
Yeah.
And they did a B-side they covered Paper Dolls by the Nerves, and it's pretty damn good.
You're like an Encyclopedia Britannica of music sometimes.
Thank you so much.
And bridge facts, apparently. I don't know how you knew
Bridge facts.
You knew all those bridge facts. So I would have to go... I think it's time that we should rate this. I mean, personally.
Sure.
So I don't know if you have any more input you want to go through and talk about the bridges.
So let's run through the three major factors so far.
All right.
Are they good, cool, or both? The bridge, apple cider, and Milkcrate. What do you think? So bridge, good, cool, or both?
I think it was cold out, so the bridge was cool. I think the bridge was not good, so it's not both.
I'm gonna definitely disagree and say the bridge is good. It gets you from from point A to point B. I wouldn't say the bridge is cool. It's a bridge.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I think it was cold out. I think the bridge was. It's cool that it suspends and lets people go across from Camden, but it does take you to Camden, so that's not good.
let's not get into arguments.
All right, so agree to disagree.
So the apple cider, good, cool, or both?
It was definitely cold. No, the apple cider I thought was good. I really like the apple cider. I don't think it was cool. I think apple cider in general is cool when it's warm. Mm-hmm. But cold apple cider, I'm not a fan of.
I gotta go with both. Again,
Damn.
Apple cider is good. Apple cider is cool.
Oh, cool,
especially for like the winter months and even into the fall. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna give it both.
I want to comment and say that my facts about where it came from are totally false. So, I'm sorry I lied to you about that. But we were on the bridge again, and you caught me off guard, and I just can't. I have to say stuff sometimes to impress you because you have these bridge facts, you have these other facts, and just I gotta keep up with you sometimes.
Consider that Mark's formal retraction. Wow.
I called someone out about my watch once. And I had to come clean on that, and I had to come clean on this. This podcast for me is about coming clean on a lot of things.
You're coming clean. All right. Third factor of the date was we stopped at Milkcrate.
Yep.
Is Milkcrate good, cool, or both?
It's both.
Yeah, absolutely both.
I
love Milkcrate.
Love Milkcrate. They have records. They have coffee. They have good food. They have everyone that there's cool too. By the way, they're always nice to me.
Yeah, they're great.
So I think if you're taking if this was a date scenario. I think taking someone to a bridge to walk across and talk about your feelings or ignore your feelings is great.
Yeah. I honestly think this is a good date. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it cheap?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't spend a penny. I drove, so I technically spent money on gas.
I paid $3 for a cup of coffee. You bought a record.
Oh, then I bought a record. Right. So I spent pennies.
Yeah. You spent a little bit of money, buddy.
I spent a little bit of money, buddy.
All in all, yeah. I think that was a...
How would you rate it 1 to 10, taking into account... cost, transportation, music selection.
You know what? Damn. On a cold day like today, I would rate this a good 7. A 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
You could hold hands. You could hug them when you get to the top of the bridge. It was cheap. It was cool.
It had better stop at hug, though.
Don't go
if you're kissing in public.
Because construction workers are going to be staring at you.
I think I'd probably give it... For a date, it's interesting. You know what I mean? Like it's like a cool thing to suggest. Like, hey, let's go for a walk on the Ben Franklin Bridge, and we'll have some apple cider. We'll go get some coffee afterward or whatever. I'd give it like a good 7 or an 8. So I'll give it a 7.5.
7.5, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. Minus that I give it a 7. You give it a 7.5.
Cool.
Agree, kind of.
Now to my favorite segment, and Mark's for sure. What did we wear on this date? I'm looking at Mark. He's got some pretty high boots. They're actually some pretty styling boots. He's got some pretty light jeans with some cuffed ankles. He's got an iron lung long sleeve crew neck on, some tortoiseshell glasses, and a black beanie, which is pretty cool.
I only own one pair of glasses, so
I'm gonna keep talking about them.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a black jacket on today too. It was pretty cold out.
Did have the black jacket,
but I took that off.
Mm-hmm.
You're rocking some Vans that are, I don't know what color this is, magenta?
I always call it maroon. Magenta's fine, sure.
Maroon 5. You got some gray pants on, no cuff. Oh, no, there's cuff. There's cuff.
Cuffs are falling down.
You also have a white T-shirt on of Suburban Lawns. One of my favorite recent new bands that they've not been recent for a very long time. I only discovered them recently. I never gave them a chance.
Yeah.
And they're insanely good.
Like they're like the Talking Heads counterpart from the 70s.
Yeah,
much.
it's insane.
West Coast, East Coast.
But they never went on. They kind of stopped after that. She went on to school, whatever her name is right now. I want to say Suzy Q. That's not what the name of it is. But.
Can't be, but...
Anyway, she went on to go to like become a pianist or something like that and put out a record.
Yeah.
And you have a denim jacket on, and then you have a hat on that's backwards. If you put it forwards, you look like you're an undercover cop. So
yeah, I feel like I look like I'm in a Where's Waldo painting.
It's a good fit.
I'm a backwards hat guy.
That's a good fit. It's a good fit. I
Yeah.
don't mind it.
You coming around to that segment? Or?
No, not at all. I still do not like this segment. But, you like it, so we got to compromise here and there.
Well, why don't you put the headphones on, Mark, because I think we're about to have another segment. Last week, Mark told us how much of an excellent concert pianist he is, and I think it's about time that we show off some of his skills. So give us a second here, and let's get this set up. Can you hear yourself in your headphones?
I can hear myself, yes.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and just play something for us.
Say this is I would call this Alfa Romeo Pardon 1.
Very cool. Have you recorded any of this before?
No, this is so I do a lot of freestyle when I play keyboard.
Oh, improvisational.
It keeps me fresh, you know what I mean? Sometimes you play the same piece too much and people get used to it. I don't like covering other people's music, and when I create my own music like this, it makes me feel alive. Different, Let me go with the final piece real quick.
Sure.
1 second. I gotta finish this up. Ready? Here we go. It's like a little bit like jazz. It's a lot of jazz influences. Ta-da!
Wow, what a treat for the listeners at home. That was excellent. That was a gang called Alfa Romeo
Pardon 1, I think.
Pardon
it was,
1.
Yes.
Very cool.
Well, thank you for listening. I'm glad I could showcase my my talents.
Yeah.
On the podcast here. So,
is there anything else you'd like to say to the listeners? I mean, we're just about wrapping it up here.
Yeah, please like and subscribe to our podcast. We're relatively new and we want to get our name out there. So smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. You should be able to check us out on iTunes and I believe Google Play. I don't know. They have some different regulations. I don't know how that stuff works. You're the tech guy.
I haven't done any research.
And also download my album on LimeWire. It's called computervirus.jpg, and it provides you with a lot of just interesting inner reflections on myself through music.
Very cool. All right, well, thank you guys again for listening, and we'll see you next week for our next Street Date.
Yes, I love you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
You're a cheap date.